Joanna is a military fitness instructor.
It's all food.
You should see this guy's appetite.
Tim runs marathons.
I'm running it all in sandals, yeah.
Blair has been training every morning at 5 a.m. since he can remember.
The towers, the power lines.
Hydro lines. Exactly.
Most of these 200 people probably have similar fitness stories. And though they seem to be in expert physical shape, this race is actually for beginners.
So I'm talking about Swamp Donkey!
This is an adventure race and is only beginner or novice compared to other extreme races like Eco Challenge or Primal Quest. Falcon Lake Swamp Donkey has racers biking, running,
Swamp Donkey,
paddling, and navigating through swamp, lake, and bush. Some of these athletes won't see the finish line for 8 hours.
This year it's about a 50-kilometer race course that goes through canoeing, trekking, biking, and orienteering. And so setting up a safe race course that makes sense, it provides challenge and options so people can make their own decisions, but it's also really safe. We have to be able to get in and out of there and help people out in a relatively short period of time if something goes wrong.
It's Team 64. I have Barb right beside me.
Our first goal in this race is for everybody to have a safe time. Second goal is everybody to have a fun time. And judging by last year, all the racers that did come out just had a blast, and that's why the popularity has increased so much for this year.
It's the Swamp Donkey's second year, and attendance has rocketed up from 42 teams to 70, and all those new racers seem ready for the challenge.
We did a conditioning camp in August with our trainer and got out on the bike quite a bit and did a canoe trip and stuff, just some overall training and then some specifics for the race stuff. And an orienteering course through Wilderness Supply to make sure we could use the compass and plot the codes and stuff.
About all I'm expecting is time-wise, maybe to finish in 6 hours, so I've kind of trained for that. Expecting obviously canoeing, biking, trekking, bushwhacking, running, and navigating, so how much of each you don't know, and that's the fun of it. You'll find out when they tell us.
Some returning teams have new expectations.
We got disqualified last year. One of our team members got injured, so here to complete it this time. Well, we did complete it, but just 2 of us, but actually to complete it with the whole team this time.
Thanks.
We've seen that most of our racers come from single discipline sports, so they bike or they run or they paddle. But now what we're trying to do is put them all together. So it's great to have some background in every one of those sports, but in a race like this, we always say that a race like this can actually be won or lost in the navigation.
And now, the only thing left to do is get some sleep.
Good night yourself.
It's race day, and the teams are ready. The course starts off with a short run down the hill and then onto the bikes. The teams must ride into the town of Falcon Lake and back, ditching their bikes at one of the transition points and then start running.
Over, right? Finish line.
Then they go from running to canoeing. The team in first place is from Falcon Lake and are eager to get in the canoe, but the home team advantage didn't help them much in the water. After a lengthy canoe route, teams make their way to the second portage site here, climbing up a steep hill, canoe in tow. All along the way, racers must get their passports signed at checkpoints. Joanna's team missed checkpoint number 5 and had to backtrack, adding 15 minutes onto their time.
We made a few crucial errors and we're behind, so hopefully make it up.
Now teams trek through the bush and again use their orienteering skills to find the way. The final leg of the course puts racers back on the bike down a difficult technical trail, which leads them at last to the finish line. Even with some bad luck in the canoe, the local boys win it.
Biking was first, and we were way in the lead for that whole section. And then once
basically hammered.
Yeah, and then once we dropped our bikes, we had to run to our canoes. And as soon as we got into our canoes, we tipped.
No, we got a little ways up.
We maybe got 50, 75 feet out from shore, but our canoe tipped. And then we had to swim back to shore, and at that point, I think 2 teams passed us. And then we ended up gaining some time there, and yeah, once we got out of the canoes, then we started getting the lead again. The canoe is definitely our weak point.
The feeling of crossing the finish line after only 4 hours is not exactly glorious at first.
I feel terrible. My legs hardly work, and I'm soaking wet. So I can't wait to get some dry clothes on, and yeah.
The second place team is from St. George, just outside of Pine Falls.
It was amazing. It was a great day. We had great weather. We really pushed ourselves, so that was good. My team of brothers, 3 brothers, so I think that was to our advantage because we know each other very well. So we could, if we have to kick the other one in the butt a little bit to go a bit faster, then we did it. Right now I'm feeling good. I don't know if I'm going to feel the same half an hour from now. I think the adrenaline is going to go down and then I'll crash, but right now I'm feeling awesome.
Coming across the finish line after going through swamp, mud, dirt, maybe falling off their bike or tripping on trails, after 8 hours of racing and having a smile on their face at the finish line, that's pretty satisfying as a race organizer.
The Swamp Donkey is the biggest wilderness-style adventure race in Manitoba, and you can register online for next year if you think you have what it takes. For Shaw TV in Falcon Lake, I'm Laura Raby.